Yeah, so weird dreams. I've still got my guest Ty Anderson in studio with me here, but this is a weird dream I had that is tangentially related to the 4th of July. It's a fireworks dream. So in the dream, I was in China. I have lived in China.
Great place for fireworks.
Yeah. And in my dream, I was in this like city, and there in Shanghai, there's this structure called the Pearl of the Orient Tower, and it's this massive structure made out of concrete, and it's technically a radio antenna, but really it's just a monument. It's a showpiece, and you can go up in it, and there's an observation deck. Anyways, this massive thing. In my dream, there were several of these around, and they were getting ready for this fireworks show, except because it's China and they have to do everything on a scale unprecedented in human history, they were going to use nuclear bombs.
Oh.
They were going to use nuclear detonations, because what bigger fireworks are there? And I'm like running around freaking out, trying to convince everybody to evacuate with me. And people are just like, it'll be fine. And then the show actually starts. And I mean, the earth is just rumbling and like everything's collapsing. And the locals are like, man, this is awesome. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? I mean, it was, and would you put it past China?
No, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
No,
I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
It was such a bad idea, but it just seemed to fit. And yeah, again, I was running around trying to, and for some reason, everywhere I went, I was stuck in the same place. You know how dreams are.
Yes.
Yeah, running in place.
That's one thing I hate about dreams and I've actually figured out in my dreams how to get away since you can't run. And that's because your brain has locked down your muscles for the most part.
Right.
Have you ever seen those gibbons that put their arms up and run sideways? Those monkeys?
Yes.
That's how I run in dreams to get away from things, believe it or not. And it works pretty good.
What I have found is, you know how when you're in a dream and you're like, wait, is this a dream? I have found that, and I've done my best to actually adhere to this, is that if I have to ask that question, the answer is yes. Because in my real life, I've never said that. Barring certain moments of uncommon intoxication.
Ooh, yeah, I know those.
Yeah, those you have to wonder what the hell is going on. But aside from that, I mean, my gosh.
One of my favorite things, and I do remember these as a kid, is when I was a kid and I had falling dreams, I was able to stop myself at the bottom because it would be like a movie where you were falling, but then it would cut to a slow motion scene and I was slow motion, but everything else was, active, and I could put my hands down and stop.
And have a nice soft landing.
Yeah, and I've only had one flying dream in my life, and that's, they say supposedly a flying dream is the most relaxed, deep into REM that you can be, and I'll always remember, I just put my hands out, I was in a dirt field, and I remember running, and the dirt kicking up, and me just flying.
I don't think I've ever had a flying dream. The closest I've had is floating dreams. Because when I was a kid, I had trouble learning to swim, so my parents would positively torture me by what I would call damn near drowning me. And so they said, well, the first step to learning to swim is to learn to float, which is, by the way, completely not true.
Yeah, it's BS.
There's no crossover between the two skills. So they would have me, lay face up and just float. And and if I laid just still enough, I could just barely stay above water and not fucking die. And so in my dreams, it was the same deal. If I just stayed perfectly still, I could float. I could just barely float. And interestingly, those dreams weren't soothing.
No, those are not good dreams because you were forced to float as a kid.
Yeah.
And it stuck in your head. Yeah. Speaking is kind of it kind of cues into the next one, segue. For like 3 or 4 days, I had dream about me and my wife being on a cruise ship. And I'm not talking just a cruise ship, but this humongous cruise ship. And it wasn't a bad dream. It was just kind of an offsetting, very, very intense. They're all intense dreams, very vivid. Since I gave up smoking pot for a while and found out that, boy, dreams become really vivid after that. So my dreams became really vivid, and I don't like that. So I'm really hoping that soon I will be able to partake again and get rid of these dreams because I personally don't like to dream. They're all very vivid and intense and not all bad. Not all bad.
Well, the name of this segment is Weird Dreams, not bad dreams.
Couple of, I can go on about weird dreams. Yeah. So let's talk about and when I say this cruise ship was big, I mean this cruise ship was humongous. I remember walking into a big room, and their performing center was larger than the ones you see in New York. I remember that.
Oh, wow.
And I was the one walking on stage, so I don't understand if I was going to perform. I don't really do performance anything, besides doing voices and stuff like that.
Yeah. And cruise performing is different than
Yeah.
than say acting.
Yes, it is, and it's also a lot of show and dance and flash,
Cabaret.
and I don't DJ anymore, so it wouldn't have been anything to do with that. So yes,
Maybe you were
weird
getting
dream.
an award.
Ooh, for nothing.
A
That's usually happening.
participation in the cruise award given out to 20,000 people. Well,
But I was hoping that me and my wife would be taking a vacation, hoping that's where those dreams were kind of leading, because being a stay-at-home dad of two boys right now, 2 and 7, I need a vacation. I need a vacation so bad. My wonderful wife has had the opportunity to go to Hawaii with her mom, and her brother lives there. He's ex-military now, and she had wonderful 5 days, and I stayed home with the kids, and I keep asking her, when's my vacation? When do I get to go to New Zealand? That's where I would love to go. And I've actually had dreams of New Zealand, kind of Hobbit dreams,
sure.
because I am short like that.
Yeah, New Zealand is, from what I've seen, absolutely lovely. I've heard nothing but good things,
Oh yeah,
except from the people who live there. But they're saying that so that we don't come.
it's
which
right.
Which is perfectly fair.
Listen, we don't want you American people here in New Zealand, and stay away, and don't touch our Kiwis, and everything will be fine. Just stay out, and we're gonna have the Aborigines here do a dance for you and then stomp on your head, because they like to kick ass.
God damn, we're right back to kicking ass.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so that's Weird Dreams.